feeling so small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall. But tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now.
Hi everyone, welcome if you're new to the channel. Welcome if you're my previous subscribers. Welcome back. So for today's video, we're going to be talking about the 2022 French presidential election and who is going to become the next French president. Emmanuel Macron, the current president of the United States, the current president of France. Will he win re-election on Sunday, April 24th, or will he lose to his far-right extreme opponent, Marine Le Pen, who is the far-right candidate in this aspect? Kind of like, think about it like a re-election between Donald Trump and Joe Biden, except flipped. Whereas, actually, no. Yeah, it was flipped. But anyway, besides the point, let's get into the main part of today's video. Now, if you are new, welcome to the channel. I'm happy to have you. And what we do here is basically I timestamped everything in the description below. So yes, the video may appear to be long, but if you just like a certain part or a certain segment of this video, just top in the description or in the comment section, everything is timestamped. By clicking the timestamp, it will take you to that certain segment of that video or that portion of this video. If you have not already and it's not Earth Day yet, on April 22nd, I will be releasing a video. Will be uploaded at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on April 22nd, 2022, on Earth Day, which is Earth Day. I will release a live collaboration, a pre-recorded collaboration between Marie Table Tarot, and Water Vendetta Tarot as well. So we'll be doing a little collaboration. Will be released tomorrow on Friday. So definitely stay tuned. Hopefully you guys get to see it or watch it. Without further ado, let's just jump right into this. So this is being recorded on April 21st, 2022 at 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes, it is midnight here. Yes, it is. We just got done recording. I finally got everything done. So I am doing this video so I can go to sleep. If here are some quick disclaimers on your screen right now. Feel free to read them on your own time or pause the video if you are interested in reading them. Other than that, we're going to head forward into the next part. This video is just for entertainment purposes only and for education purposes only as well. And here are some other disclaimers on your screen right now. Feel free to pause and read them on your own time. Let's jump right into this, shall we? Okay, so let me catch you up on to a little bit of date. I had done my first French presidential election about 2 weeks ago, and I said that Emmanuel Macron will win the first round. He will be the lead in that aspect. He'll be number one. I was right. Marine Le Pen came in second. So let me tell you, this is the Financial Times. They're reporting here, just give them a little bit of credit. They are projecting as of right now, Emmanuel Macron leads by 54.2% to Marine Le Pen 45.8%. Now, you might be asking, Chris, why is it so important? The election doesn't seem so close. Okay. Think about it this way. Take 5% away from Emmanuel Macron and give it to Marine Le Pen. Who's the winner now? Marine Le Pen will win by 50.8% over Emmanuel Macron, who will have 49.2%. That is how close this election is. Put it in perspective. Yes, it looks like a 10-point lead. But really, think about it this way. It's a mirror image. If you lose 5%, where did that 5% have to go? It have to go to the other person, right? So that's a 10% increase, right? That's what this is. So now let's get to know the candidates. I don't know why I said that sarcastically. I'm not trying to be sarcastic here. Okay, so Emmanuel Macron, I feel like you guys don't know a lot about French politics and why it's so important. This election is very important in French politics and why I'm even covering it. This is why. Emmanuel Macron is the centrist incumbent. He won his first round with 28% of the vote. I was right. His comfortable early lead in the polls narrowed significantly in the last week before the vote, prompting Macron to warn he could lose to the far-right candidate. The tightening poll led supporters to worry that he had spent too much time responding to the war in Ukraine, which initially boosted his rating. Instead of campaigning, Macron sought to play a leading role in diplomatic efforts to prevent the war and still hold frequent calls with Vladimir Putin and Zelensky to try a broker peace. Macron campaign focuses on its effort to liberate the economy, including plans to increase the retirement age. France's strong post-pandemic economic recovery boosted his pre-election poll rating. Now he must convince voters that he is more than a president of the rich and can unite a fragmented France, and that he can be trusted with immigration, a key battleground in the debate. Right? Again, very similar to the landscape of the United States in terms of the economy and immigration. This is the far-right candidate Marine Le Pen, far-right veteran and leader of the Resemblance National. Marine Le Pen came second with 23% of the vote in the first round vote. She reemerged strongly in the polls after fending off candidates from extreme right and far left and could become France's first female president. Analysts say her campaign pivot away from immigration to the cost of living crisis had helped her widen her voter base. Le Pen's strong comeback suggests her attempt to quote, detoxify her party's racist image had paid dividends with the public. Despite alienating some loyal supporters, including her niece, Marianne Thumpton, who declared her support for extreme right rival Eric Demore. Le Pen is skeptical of the EU and NATO and has a long-standing tie with Putin, which she had recently tried to downplay. She is currently campaigning under the slogan, quote, "Give France their country back." And she wants to rewrite the constitution to give France a new power to tightly control its borders and cut off immigration from housing subsidies and health care. So that is a little bit of background between both the candidates and what they stand for and what they really talk about there. Very interesting, the fact that I specifically read on in my previous election video on France, which I'll put in the description below if you are interested, or I put that at the end of this video where it will be one of the suggested videos. I specifically spoke about who will become the next French president, and I described the type of thing that they were going to do based on very popular policies. So, for example, I'll do one on pandemic, immigration, economy, Ukraine, war, Russia, blah, blah, blah. It seems to be pointing already that it looks like Le Pen is on track to become France president, at least based on what I got 2 weeks ago. I kept seeing a woman in power in France, which is why we're covering this video. I kept seeing a woman. At the time, there was another woman running. Her name was Valerie, and I thought it could have been either Le Pen or her. But now that we know it is a woman who potential can become president, who will most likely be Le Pen. Well, it would be Le Pen because she's the only woman in this aspect. But does not mean gender is 100% accurate. It could just mean that it could be energy. Maybe Macron comes out as more feminine, whereas Le Pen comes out more masculine. So it does not necessarily point towards a definitive gender role here. But nonetheless, it is very interesting to say the least. So now we have the economists. This is what they're saying, right? The economists are polling and projecting based on the polling and predictive vote share. They are projecting the same thing, a 10% margin for Macron and Le Pen that could easily flip overnight with just a change in 5%, which is why every vote counts. Right, and they're projecting as of right now, out of 100 simulations, French presidential simulations, they project that Emmanuel Macron will win 93% of those simulations, whereas Le Pen, the far-right candidate, will win about 7 of those simulations. However, I disagree with that based on when I get in the cards. That can change as of going in the future. Right, here are some results from the first poll. We have Emmanuel Macron winning 28% of the results, with Marie Le Pen winning 23% of the results. So I was spot on in that aspect. Now, this is the current president, Emmanuel Macron. He is the president of France. He won back in 2017. And this was the candidate he ran against and defeated back in 2017, as she is running for a rematch in 2022. Right? Oftentimes, believe it or not, even back then in 2017, Marie Le Pen was very easily depicted as a Trump female figure in French politics, and is still to today is considered a female Trump, which is why people are warning the coming and the rise of Le Pen, who could potentially destroy Europe, because he threatened to withdraw from NATO, European Union, and everything like that. Particularly what I said was going to happen under this brand new president that is set to take place after the election. Right, so now we're going to start talking about the race now. Let's jump into it. Everything is timestamped in the description below. Okay, now you have update, you know exactly what we're talking about. You gave background knowledge. Let's jump into it. What is the turnout level on April 24th, which is the French presidential election, which is this Sunday? Will it be lower than 2017, higher than 2017, or even? If it's lower, chances are Marie Le Pen wins. If it's higher, chances are Macron wins. If it's even, then it's a give or take. Let's take a look. Okay, so if it's upright, right? If it's upright like this, so say this is upright, Macron wins. If it's reverse, Le Pen wins. Nah, excuse me. If it's upright, high turnout. If it's reverse, low turnout. Sideways, even. That's how we're going to do this. Okay, Spirit Angels will tell me. What is the turnout in the French presidential election as of right now with the current energy? Guys, I'm not a prediction channel. I just want to make that very clear. I do not make predictions on the channel. I just simply read the current energies as of right now and just give you what I see in the cards. That's all that I do. I just want to make sure I made that clear. Okay, Spirit Angels tell me who will become the next French president. Well, excuse me. Oh my God. Okay, Spirit. During the French presidential election, what will be the turnout level in France? How would the turnout be in the French presidential election on April 24th, 2022? Okay, so it appears the turnout is going to be lower than expected, which means that Le Pen will benefit from this. Right? Think about it. If Biden didn't have that 81 million people who came out and voted for him, chances are Trump could have won the state of Georgia, Arizona, and Wisconsin, which would have been enough to put Trump over the finish line. That is how important turnout is. Every vote counts. The same aspect, it counts even more in a French presidential election as it's not electoral college based, but rather a popular vote. That is why low turnout matters, because it matters because every vote counts in this election. So now we know the very low turnout. We know that already. And now let's ask the next question. What gender will win the French presidency? Now, please keep in mind, like I said before, that the French president is not necessarily easily determined based on gender. I did get a lot of female energy, but that does not mean Le Pen is the female. I just want to make sure that's clear. It may well be that Macron, who is the current president, just may come up as more feminine, that whereas when he's up against Le Pen, she comes up as more masculine. So we are going to read on the gender. Okay, so Spirit Angel, tell me, what gender will win the French presidential election? Now, this could change from last time, of course. Okay, there's a card here. All right, this person's going to win the presidency. Whoever this is going to win the presidency, right? They're going to defeat somebody. They're going to be handed it. There's a challenge here. Okay. Another challenge. There's going to be some fight. Oh, there's going to be some fighting going on. Boy, oh boy, there's going to be some disruption of some sort. The election is going to be very close, very close. We're not going to know who's going to be the winner for a while, I would think. I always feel like there's some sort of claim of election fraud going on. Because there's a lot of people are fighting. Like, a lot of people. Like, nobody's happy. This is pretty bad. This is not what I expected for this particular question. It's your agenda. Who will end up at top? Okay, can you please give me judgment? So the media, there's something going on with the media. Media might be inciting us in some way. You might hear this on the media. There might be some sort of law that gets put in place, maybe like martial law, where it's not being reported, something's not being reported, or something going on with the media here. Can I get a gender, please? I would just like a gender. Just answer the question, Spirit. I know I understand But I have a question dedicated to this, so please wait. Just give me agenda. That's all I ask. Okay. They gave me the star card with Brave. I'm just gonna keep going. Come on. Until I get a man. Okay, I want to either get a king or a queen. That's what I'm looking for. Someone on the bottom here. We have to pay some ones here. Okay, it's the queen. So this is our first queen. So it's Le Pen as of right now, which is why a lot of people are probably not so happy about all this. Maybe potentially that election win is a woman. So whoever this is a woman. So I can't say whoever this is. We know who's going to be. It's going to be Le Pen. She's going to be the far right candidate who is basically the Trump of France. Is really what that is. So yeah, as of right now, and she's so stable. She's projected to be the winner based on what I'm seeing as of right now. She's projected to be the new French president. Right, the rematch between Macron and Le Pen. Okay, so now that we know the women is going to be most likely, that does not necessarily mean that it's going to be a woman. This means this feminine energy is going to be the dominant power in this aspect in this election. So whoever has the most feminine energy is going to be the winner. Okay, who will win the French presidential election rematch and become France's next president? Macron or Le Pen? Okay, so we're going to use two ways. We're going to use the tarot cards, and we're also going to use your Uno cards. Okay, Le Pen represents kind of like the red color, so she's going to be red, with very similar to Republican. And Macron is going to represent blue, very similar to Democrats, just to make it easy for you guys. Okay, Spirit Singers will tell me who will win the French presidential election rematch between Macron and Le Pen on April 24th, 2022. Who will become the France next president? Will it be Le Pen or will it be Macron? Give me blue for Macron, give me a red for Le Pen. There's a red hat here, very similar to Trump type energy. Red hat. A lot of red heat in this aspect here. In the end, she wins. Yeah. We have a hander here. There's victory here. Yep, here, look who it is. Look who's on the top of the next card. The Queen of Swords here. She's the woman, so it's her. She wins. I would say Le Pen as of right now win. We have the High Priestess reverse. This is Macron. He's reverse, right? This is also Le Pen. In the past, she lost in 2017 to Macron, but she's making a comeback, right? She's not appearing herself as too disrupted, not too extreme far right, because of one of the candidates who happened to be running when she was running made her appear moderate, even though she's still as extreme as she was back in 2017, if not even more. In the right side here, though, we have red. And I said red, but there's a lot of blue, right? Yes, I understand that. There's a lot of blue. Yes, there's a lot of support here for Macron. But the question is, will they come out? Because look how ignorant the red people are. Right? They're like, I don't care who comes out and votes. I'm still going out and vote. And that's the type of energy that would drive her to victory. Right? We have here those red people, those red hats, right? They are looking towards the world. So there's going to be some sort of change coming in France. It's going to be a seismic change, but it's not going to be too big of a change yet. But what we have here is we have some sort of internal fighting. So there's something going on. So maybe there's some sort of struggle. Maybe it goes back and forth between the two people. So maybe, maybe at 9 a.m. in the morning, it was Macron leaves, and then at 10 a.m., Le Pen leaves, and then Macron leaves at 11, and she leaves at 12. And it almost feels like it goes back and forth, like you don't know who's exactly going to win because the election is so tight. Because we have tempers here, and then there's some sort of balance here. And the balance is that, the incumbent doesn't lose. That's interesting. Let me read on this again. Let me just read on this one more time. Because it says here the incumbent doesn't lose, but yet I keep seeing a woman. So let me ask again. Let me ask the question, will he win re-election? Let's ask that. Maybe if I need to reword this. Will Emmanuel Macron win re-election? I have a feeling I'm not using the right deck for this. I don't even know what deck to use. I don't even have a front deck. You know what? Let me try my American deck. Let me see. I never used this as my deck that I made specifically for America, but it might just work for other countries. Let's take a look. Let's try this. But I have a feeling that this card don't really work for France. So Spirit Angels tell me, will Emmanuel Macron win re-election on April 24th? Will he remain in power as president for the next 5 years? Will Macron be in power for the next 5 years? Will Macron still be president of France in the next 5 years? Which, if you don't know, is the term limit for a French president. Okay. 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 So this is confusing. Okay, so you know how I said that low turnout means Le Pen wins and high turnout means Macron wins? Well, that's what this is saying, because you said United States Postal Service, which is UPS, PS, which is slow mail in reverse, but it's upright, so it's United States Postal Service. And what this is telling me here is that there's high speed in terms of voting. So there won't be any issues in terms of voting. It's going to be pretty good in that aspect. But we have here his core base here. The main base is voters. I know obviously they're voting, but I'm talking about, like, workers, like actual workers, trying to get the average day worker, infrastructure, Rust Belt states, supply and demand, blue collar voters. I assume there's something with the factory, maybe the factory industry, maybe he has to do something with that. Maybe they come out and supported him. Maybe they remember something that he did for them, or something they did that he did against them and hurt them, and they come out against him. Whatever this is, they're going to be playing a big role here. We also have here as high turnout, right? I said here the high turnout will be key for Macron victory. So we're asking here, will he win re-election? It said the results are undecided. So as of right now, it does not give me a definitive answer if he's going to win re-election. Let's just ask one more time. Let's just ask the election between Macron and Le Pen, right? Whoever's wins. So Macron is going to be Biden. Macron is going to be represented through the Biden card, and Le Pen is going to be represented through the Trump card. So one of the card that looks similar to Trump is her, she wins, and if the Biden card is Macron. So whoever's on top first is the winner. Okay, Spirits, let's do that. You got that, Spirits and Angels? You got it? Okay, perfect. All right. Tell me when to stop shuffling. Okay. Flip the deck. Okay. Turn it over. Okay, well, that's not what I expected. They told me to turn it over and it just shot everywhere. Okay. Well, I apologize, guys. Just be patient. This is probably how chaotic the French election is. I never had this ever happen to me during the American election, so whatever's going on in France, it ain't good. Whatever's going on there, it ain't good. All right. We're going to have to shuffle this one more time. Okay, they told me to keep it the way it is because they made it happen that way. Okay, whatever you say. Well, I guess we'll do it that way. We'll do it that way. It is good. It's a good way. Is this the way you want me? You want this upright? Okay. I talked to them in my right ear. If you don't know, if you're not familiar. Okay, we're going to keep going. Everything's double-sided. I made them double-sided. Okay. Keep going until we get a Biden card, which is Macron, and a Trump card, which is Le Pen. Who do you think is gonna win? I'm curious, guys. Let me know in the comment section below who you think is going to win. Okay. Okay, so we have Trump reverse. Okay, this is Le Pen here. So if we have Biden upright, Macron wins. Which would be different because, oh yeah, Biden's upright. Here you go. Here's Biden. So we have Vice President Kamala Harris, then we have the Speaker of the House. So as of right now, it appears that Macron is now in the lead again. So it appears it's going back and forth, back and forth. So I had Le Pen winning, but now it looks like Macron wins as of right now with the current energy, but it's very close. It's very hard to tell in particular. But yeah. But then this card comes up and it's reversed. The incumbent loses re-election, but then this card comes out after that. The polls are right. But the polls are projecting, like I said, the polls are projecting a Macron win. So what is going on here? I don't even know what's going on here, honestly, guys. You have to tell me in the comment section below what you think. I'm going to have to read on this video again. I'm going to have to read on this again on Saturday. Oh, I really do not want to do this again, but I guess I have to. Maybe I'll make like a little 1-minute video on this. Okay. As of right now, it looks like a Macron victory. Very narrow, though. Very narrow. Very narrow, to say the least. It's going to be very close between Le Pen and Macron. It's going to be very close. It's very hard to tell the winner. We want to try one more time with Uno. Because this is a very important election. Because it will signify a turning point in Ukraine war against Russia. Well, the Russian-Ukrainian war is what is really going to be a major problem. So we're going to take a look at that. All right, so red, again, is Le Pen. Blue is Macron. Green and yellow are just, we don't include them. So whoever has the highest number for the color is the winner. So Spirit Angel, tell me, give me a higher number than Le Pen. Well, if he wins the election on April 24th, please give me a high number. Okay, if he's the loser and is defeated by Le Pen, give me a lower number than hers. Okay, that's too many. Give me 2 cards max. One more. Okay, so that's 13. Okay. So he has 13. Yeah, okay, whatever. We'll let's do whatever color. Spirit Angels, tell me, what about Le Pen? If she is defeating Macron for the presidency on Sunday, April 24th, give me a higher number than 13 if she's the winner. Give me a lower number than 13 if she's the loser. Okay, too many, so we'll go with the last 2. Okay. We have our answer. Le Pen wins. Because we have 13 here. We have 13, right? So we have 13 for Macron. Right, and then for Le Pen, we have 24. So as of right now, it looks to me, I don't want to, again, like I said, it's not a prediction channel. Just read current energy. It's going back and forth is what this is doing. The last time it happened, when this particular type of reading ever happened to me, was very close 5 days before the presidential election result, and the election kept going like this. Like it was undecided, and it can go either way. So that's really what I got. We're going to do it one more time. We're just going to ask for a color. Red. Red is Marie Le Pen, and Macron is blue. Okay. Spirit Angels, tell me. I didn't ask the question. Spirit Angels, tell me who will be the victor the most likely victor at the French presidential election on Sunday, who will become the next president. Marine Le Pen is red, Emmanuel Macron is blue. Okay, number 2 came out again. Marine Le Pen, it looks like the winner. So as of right now, what all the cards are doing, even though some of the tarot cards said Macron, majority of them point to Marine Le Pen many times. So chances are it could be Marine Le Pen. But there's something going on here. So maybe there's some sort of civil war where they're both president, but she's president of her own rebellious state and he's president of his, area. Almost like, like northern France and southern France and divided, and they have 2 separate presidents, kind of what it feels like. Because it feels like neither of them are decided. The election is very tight, like it's very hard to tell. Like you can clearly see that, right? Okay, I really don't want this video to be too long, so I'm gonna make this as short as possible. How would the world react to the French presidential election win? I think this will be very important to kind of see and understand. If it's a big shock, then it's Marine Le Pen winning. If it's, oh, okay, congratulations, Macron won, because that means, oh, people are expecting him to win because he's the incumbent. But when there's a defeat or an upset, then that is a shocker. So we're going to look to see what people are saying, how they're feeling. How is the world going to react to the new French president on April 25th? Let's do that. Okay, so someone is refusing to concede. I've been seeing that for a while, but there is a removal of a former leader and a female president. Yeah, okay. Again, it keeps telling me Marine Le Pen here. I feel comfortable saying that. We have the lovely card reverse here. The division in France between masculine and feminine, like we said, and are not very united. We also have here, we have the 3 of Cups here. And what they're just telling me here that it's not a celebration. People are not happy. People are not celebrating this. It feels like people are not saying congratulations. So it appears to me already with the 3 of Cups reverse that Macron loses re-election. I don't know why I didn't leave this question. Maybe I need to go through all that to figure this out. I don't know. We'll find out later. We have the Emperor card, which is Macron, right? Macron is out of office, out of power, right? He loses. Which is why when I get this card reversed, any person who's in position or chair, when it's reversed, tells me that they are no longer in power. They are no longer the incumbent. Right? The next card here is we have the Queen of Wands here. This is the woman. Right, she kind of gives me the energy of spirituality, but also in simultaneously, she also gives me the energy of demanding power. Right, the next card comes up is we have the 5 of Swords, and the 5 of Swords are very symbolic in this aspect. And the 5 of Swords is kind of a guy being very greedy and 2 people just walking away, giving up. And it feels like in some way that there might be some sort of show off or some sort of face off, whatever that may mean. Maybe like another runoff. I don't know, but I don't know how the French election works. We have the 8 of Cups reversed. The refuse to concede. And I feel like if anything, Macron will refuse to concede, is what I always been getting. We have the King of Wands here, more of a conservative, liberal type, a libertarian type candidate. In this aspect, this will really mark Macron, because Macron is that moderate type candidate. He is that independent candidate who will surprisingly won in 2017. And that is what this card is here, and it's reversed. Because he's reversed, but it's also followed with the Empress card, which is the women card. All right, so the surprise here is how would the world react to the French presidential election win on April 25th? It looks like to me it's going to be Marine Le Pen. But the election is close. You know how, remember, I asked specifically about April 25th? Maybe the question that I was doing, I kept asking was the 24th. Maybe the election isn't called on the 24th, and maybe it's called on the 25th instead. So maybe I should have asked that, but I'm not doing the question again. But that's probably what happened, based on my assumption here. Okay, how will the French people react to the French presidential win or result? Whether it be violence or riots or civil war? I recently got civil war in the past. Let's take a look. How will the French people react to the French election result on April 25th? They won't be happy, I'll tell you that. Anything else you'd like to add, Spirit Angel? Yo, okay. Oh my god, okay. This one of this feels like it feels like, how the French Revolution right after American Revolution, I think in 1776, and then they follow with the French Revolution doing it right after. You know how they went after the elite or the bourgeoisie and they try to take down the elite class? That kind of feels like what is going on now. It's the division between the poor and the ultra wealthy. And that is what this really comes down to. This is what it boils down to. The common man and the common woman versus the rich woman and the rich man. That's what it really comes down to. Because we have here everyday people struggling with everyday problems, everyday lives. And they don't feel, and I'm not French, well, I am actually French by blood, but I'm not a French citizen. And I do not speak on their behalf. I am just reading what the energy feels like. And what it feels like to me is that they feel like they are not in connection. They feel like the candidates don't represent them, that the candidates don't know how they're really feeling and what they're really going through. They feel like the candidates don't understand them. Because on the left side here, we have the Sun card. And it feels like in some way that there was something that was overshadowed in the past. Right? Something that was forgotten. Like they feel like they've been forgotten about, like almost like no one really cared about them. That's what the energy feels like. That's why it's reversed. Right? And it's somehow tying this into Ukraine. Something's going on with Ukraine here, with some feeling of forgotten of some sort. Because underneath this 10 of wands here, we have reverse two of pentacle, which means something is not close. Like something is not 100% decided, but also is decided. Almost feel like there's premeditated plans. Whatever this is, there's premeditation here. Because what follows in the future is we have the 10 of Pentacles, which is generations, family generation from many different generations. So this is kind of going to be following the historical trends. So the way history normally goes with the French presidency is the way the election's probably going to end up going, or how they're going to respond. France is very known to be very revolutionary, very the type to cause unrest, civil unrest. And that is what France is really known for, right? And it's been going on for generations and generations. So this is not something that will be new if it was to ever happen, but it will be based on generation. That it was something that was a historical significant and it's within what it means to be a French. And so part of that is just in the French blood and in French nature to just rebel against their own government. We have the wheel of fortune reversed. The tides are going to start turning for France against France. But also, again, oddly enough, it's also going to be turning for France. So it almost feels like, in a way, it may be turning against the elite, is what it's referring to. And the final outcome card here, because we have the risk class here, was it depicted in Nine of Pentacles. Oh, we're living this luxurious life. Bonjour. I'm going to drink my martinis, right? Is that what they drink? I'm gonna eat my baguette. I'm gonna have some cheese, my charcuterie board, and whatever. It feels like in some way that they just feel like they're higher up, like they see their common person as a peasant, right? And this person comes in as the Knight of Swords. And this is the average day person coming in to attack the rich class. Right? You see the rich people, and they're being attacked by the poor people because of how the rich people thought of them. People won't be more likely or willing to accept bullying, is what it feels like. And the card that was also came afterwards was bloodshed. So maybe there will be some blood shot, and then we have the bottom card, we have the tower card. There will be some sort of upset. And potentially the upset may not be the election, it may not be pertaining directly to the election results, but might be to the reaction and how people respond to the results. So in the end, the answer to the question is, will there be any sort of violence? It looks like a yes. I hope not. I really do not. I really do hope not. But we have the full card here. People are fed up. They're not willing to jump off a cliff. So that is today's video. This is the update on the French presidential election. I apologize for the chaotic energy at first. It's sometimes hard to pin down, really, especially when there's an election, as nothing is ever decided until the results are final, and things can change within an hour, within 5 minutes. Things can change overnight, even. So again, this result is never final until the actual result is certified. In the meantime, good luck, France. Hope you make the best choices. Maybe potentially should pick Macron because you already know who he is and you're familiar with him. Best of luck. All right, we'll be talking to you guys soon, hopefully, and we'll do a follow-up update after the election. Good luck, France. Thank you, guys. I love you, and namaste.